What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky Transformers review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Transformers the Movie Autobot Jazz. So yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to get any of the Studio 86 stuff, but you know what? Jazz is basically my favorite G1 character, and little known fact, one of the very first toys, Transformer toys that I went to pick out for myself, because I had a few from when I was little, was actually going to be G2 Jazz. And I ended up picking G2 Sideswipe instead. And I've had regrets ever since. That's not even a joke. I still think about that, having it in hand and picking the Lamborghini instead of the Porsche. My life could be totally different. Either way, so you got a nice little image here. Transformers, all things. Movie A+, hey, right in the middle of that. And nice image there. 86. Authentic Transformers. Come to the back. You've got big screen inspired, don't care. Moon base 1 destruction. That's the background thingy there. You got bot mode, you got car mode, you got 20 steps, you've got backdrop included. Yay. How about Jazz makes a futile escape as Unicron devours a moon base 1. So yeah, that's the thing. Come on, that's it. 2D series. Deluxe class, class A, deluxe, class A, deluxe, class A, class A, deluxe. So, I very briefly showed him off as a comparison last time to a Voyager that he was taller than. So you tell me how transformer sizes actually work. So let's open this up just real quick to look at the kind of diorama thingy inside. Throw that on the floor. There we go. And actually, this is the first time this has even been out of the box. So that's pretty cool. I don't care about it in any way, shape, or form, but it's cool. So you get Moonbase 1. It looks good. I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, here in a second, I'll, bring him out and put him on that. So, alright. Alright, guys. So here we have Jazz in his car mode. Classic Porsche. And I don't remember if it's a 959 or a different version. It's very 959-esque, but it might not be exactly the 959. And he actually looks pretty good. Does have a little bit of visible head syndrome, but you can't see his face, so, it's kind of what it is. But it looks good. You got silver paint back here, silver paint on the wheels, although, wow, they could have done better with that. If those are pegged in, there's no reason to have gone to that level. And then for the front wheels to be reverse pins makes it even worse. I mean, if nothing else, paint the frickin' clips silver. Come on. A big old, very boring 14 on the side. And part of me wonders if 14 is actually the number it's supposed to be. And then you got up here, silver bit on the grill, blue kind of forward fog lights. It actually has flip-up headlights in reality. It does have his very Martini-inspired paint. Autobot logo right there. They could have painted the gas filler cap there, which would have been pretty cool. Translucent windows, which I could care less about. I would much rather this be all solid plastic and painted the windows with a nice metallic blue. Just, kind of like the New Age does, hint, hint, wink, wink. And you come back here below the wing, you even get the vents, because of course this thing is rear engine. And you get what are clearly his feet bumpers. But it's pretty cool. I mean, it does roll. Even though it's on an incredibly smooth surface, it still rolls. And he spins like crazy, which is fun. Okay, so I do need comparisons. And I don't have any other Studio 86, but because this can fit in where it does, have a wheel jack from Earthrise. And frankly, a Lancia is a smaller car in a lot of ways, so that's not a great comparison. Though this is a deluxe, this is a Voyager. Once again, strange. And we'll bring in Cliff Jumper, who is whatever they called the Legends. No, he's a deluxe. It's just a small deluxe. So small deluxe, Voyager, deluxe, and then somebody who is completely in the wrong size class in vehicle mode, bring in Hoist from the Earthrise line. So we get at least a lot of these Earth-based vehicles, which is obviously what he is. No Cybertronian vehicles here, at least not yet. Next go around, probably. So that's that. I guess, so before I transform him, I did neglect to show that, of course, he can peg his weapon to his roof, which is really dumb. I would have much rather that just been a solid thing and not have a weapon plug into his car mode at all. I feel like this is a really dumb gimmick. Also, this gun has 2 posts on the side of it that go to nothing. As far as I can tell, there's nowhere to put that, and there's no way to store the gun otherwise. So, realistically, if you got him in car mode, you just have a gun lying about. And of course, once again, mention the Taro video if you want to know how to get him into vehicle mode. So, get him out of vehicle mode. It's fairly easy. I say that. One easy step is to go ahead and just rotate these ever so slightly for clearance. Come to the doors, unpeg them from the forearms, and just sort of get them up like that. And then I usually like to come up to the forearms, go ahead and rotate that around like so, just to get the arms up and out of the way, like that. And then you want to untab all of this, so the whole back half here is like tabbed down into him. So you got to unpeg this. Usually the easiest way to do it for me is actually just to unfold the legs. So like that, pull straight down, because the tabs that go into here from here, just super easy, just to and you got your legs. So let's just continue with that. Now there's a couple tabs there that will plug in on the sides of the knees, fronts of the knees. So just do with that as you will. Then you can go ahead and split that. Rotate the toes up. Grab these, rotate them down, and there's a slot right there that they'll line up to. Mine are kind of out a little bit far, so they don't necessarily ever really lock in place. But that's how you get that part. So we need to get here. So we just need to kind of wiggle it until he comes free from right there. And then bring this hinge up and then stand that up towards the back. Now you want to flip the torso around. So go ahead and rotate it there at the silver piece. So down here at the actual hips is a rotation joint. You can see here it's marked almost by a flywheel, which is interesting. And then you want to rotate this white part separately. So grab the whole upper torso and rotate it. I don't know about yours, but mine is incredibly tight. So that could be an issue in the future. Oh, there's a nice little hole there. Maybe something must plug into that if I had to guess. I don't know. Offhand. Okay, so now we need to do the chest and head. You can see the head is obviously moving, so we want a little bit of clearance here. Push this part down past the ears and the head, and then rotate this down and rotate the head back. And mine is a very tight tolerance for some reason. Like, it really just has to fit perfect like that. And then when you get to this point, now this guy is also very tight until you get to about there, and then it can come up and be flush like that. So you want that ultimately. And then you come under here, stop it, grab this guy, and you see there's 2 slots there. There's 2 tabs right there, so push this back just a little bit. And line up your tabs, push it together like so. We'll fix the arms, flip out the hands, just kind of hook your thumbnail on the backs of the hands there. Rotate, flip your hands out, rotate the bicep, straighten up your legs. Now the backpack. Okay, so there's 2 different ways to do this from what I can see. There's the way the instructions tell you, and then there's the way I do it. So if you follow the instructions, from what I can tell, you want to just take this double hinge back here, kind of free this up, and you want this to fold and go inside like this. And then you almost end up with a tab that almost plugs in there. And I say almost because, well, it just sort of implies that it might, but it doesn't necessarily. Utilize that hinge. I guess if you push it in that far, yeah, that's an issue. Hold on. But I guess if you want to, you can try to line it up. So there's no perfect way to do that specific thing. But if you do this, then you end up with kind of these door wings hanging off. And to me, that just makes its body look way too thick. So I developed a different way. Come up here, flip this back up. Don't go too far though. Fold the doors in. Now you see that these little bits here, the little side skirts, will perfectly fit through that hole. Like so. And then this perfectly fits inside the doors. And then you just tuck it up like that. Now, maybe I'm crazy, and that is exactly how it's supposed to be. Maybe. But I could have sworn I saw it with the doors out in the instructions. I'm going to double check because I'm an idiot. Okay, I can't confirm that because I don't know where the instructions are. Either I threw them away or they're buried on my desk somewhere. But here is our Jazz, and yeah, he looks great. Silver face, blue eye visor thingy, ball joint mounted head, works fine. Arms do the thing. You get the nice inside of the wheel going on there. Obviously, all the car details are still here. Nothing new except for like these new blue details here and the silver details on the front of the shins. Looks good. These pegs that are meant to hold the knees in place, frankly, I mean, you have to really, really give them a squeeze, or just make sure you don't bend the legs too far. But yeah, it looks perfectly fine. From what I can tell, it looks good. And the torso still rotates. Just watch out for that backpack, which we'll get out of the way. Gun does... Whoa, hey. Does gun things. Like so. There you go. There's your good jazzy boy. I like it. Oh, I was just thinking about it. The only Bumblebee we've gotten. I was just thinking they need a movie Bumblebee for this. We have the Earthrise Bumblebee, and it's not good. It's really very not good in comparison to these. These look about as close as you can get. And compared to the Combiner Wars Jazz we got a few years ago, which was like my least favorite Combiner Wars thing that wasn't a Dinobot, it's just sad. So this is really good. Now, the only thing I have out for size comparison directly is our Siege Voyager Prime. So you can see, that's actually a pretty good size comparison. But if I bring in our Voyager Monkey Master, it's surprising. Once again. You know? And then, of course, if you want them on the diorama, you can totally do that too. Fold that back however you want to do it. It looks good, not gonna lie. It's a dumb gimmick, in my opinion. I just don't dig things like this. It's neat, but it's nothing I need. That's just kind of trash, in my opinion. Like, I don't need this. You know, if there was a display specifically for this and you were going to do every single one of them this way, fine. And I know that the Studio Series just does this. So, for a thing that it does, it's fine. I just don't ever need it. Artwork does look nice. Okay? Sounds good. But the figure itself is a very good rendition of Jazz. I can see that somebody will eventually do an upgrade kit for him and, you know, like fill in all the gaps. And given that this is a decent series, like this isn't a crap series that I usually do, forearm filler would be good. I mean, there's enough room to cover that hand with a little piece. I wish they would have done it. So like major gaps like this and the thighs, just something I really wish they could have worked on. And then back here on the back of the legs is just egregious, but you know, it's the backside. As for this area, once again, I've made an assumption. I vaguely looked at the instructions to make sure I wasn't screwing things up, but I mostly figured out the transformation on my own. Everything fits in such a way that this must be how it's supposed to go. I think it does look just better in general, but I wish they didn't stick with translucent that's painted. I really wish they had gone with plastic and then painted the windows on, because this is already starting to scratch. from just a few, efforts of transforming him. But like I said, looks good, functions good, best Jazz we've gotten, period, in forever. And we don't have an MP version, like at least an official one. So this is probably the best version we're gonna get for a very long time. I didn't really point out articulation, but single jointed knee, an okay ankle rocker. Actually, it's a good ankle rocker. My bad. Goes way further than I thought it did. It was just tight. I like that they incorporate the wings into a heel spur, so that's good. So anyway, good thing. So I'm gonna wrap this up. If you guys need it, by all means, go find it. I grabbed them at Walmart. Presumably, you'll be able to buy these online somewhere, somehow. And next up, I will have Cup, which is coincidentally the next one in the line. I don't think I need all the 86s. I had Blur in hand. I don't think I need Blur. I'll pick them up again tomorrow, and if I go where I saw them for sale, and it'll be a maybe, or it'll be just for the review situation. You guys, well, by the time this comes out, you won't know. I was gonna say vote for it, but never mind. But guys, if you want to see my initial out the box reactions to things, by all means, go check out the Patreon. And they actually got to see this first. They got to see me open it up and try to figure it out and struggle with it until I had to eventually look at the instructions. So if you want to see those kind of things first, or if you're interested in that, or just supporting the channel, please go do the Patreon thing. Also, go check out the other two channels if you have not. The Taro video is hosted on the secondary channel. Over on the third channel has nothing to do with any of this stuff, but if you're interested in just the kind of content I do over there, please go check it out. And by the way, guys, I just wanted to point out the fact that more than 82% of you people watching stuff on this channel and even my secondary channel are not subscribed. So that's kind of absurd. I need you guys, and Jazz needs you guys, to go do that. I mean, look at this graph. It's pathetic. Yes, change the graph and change the world. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding.